Welcome, Jennifer, to Essential Stories. I'm so glad that you're here today. I've been,
Excited to talk to you.
yeah, I've been looking forward to this. I know that our oil journey goes back many, many years. We're coming on almost 20 years, if you can imagine that. I never thought it would last, I don't know, 20 days, let alone 20 years. Um, but
And
more
here we are.
importantly, we've had a long, long friendship, which is, been a real blessing in my life. So it's
For
just
mine
fun
too.
that you're here. We start off the show with this or that. So you ready?
I'm ready.
This or that. Give up wine for a year or drink nothing but wine for a year.
Give up wine for a year. That's hard.
Okay. I know.
Oh,
How would you actually make it through life? I guess you'd take a long nap. I don't know. That's what I would do anyway. This or that. Start a colony on another planet or be the leader of a country on Earth.
be a leader of a country on Earth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Live
Not doing the spaceship thing.
no. Mm-mm. I know. The whole gravity thing is, I'm pretty
Unless
respectful.
I'm going to weigh less on that planet. Now that's a
Oh,
thought. I'm just kidding.
yeah. What do you get to decide? Those are good questions. Live in a haunted house with friendly ghosts or be a ghost reliving your age the day after you die. So live in a house haunted by friendly ghosts or be a ghost reliving your age average. Oh, sorry. No, I will start again. Live in a house haunted by friendly ghosts or be a ghost reliving your average day after you die.
Oh, I think I'd be a ghost reliving my average day.
There you go. There's one here that I thought was really funny. Let me see if I can find it. This or that. Be an unknown superhero or an infamous villain.
Unknown superhero. Every mom is an unknown superhero. So I think we already are.
I love that. I agree. Never be able to keep anyone else's secrets or have someone tell all of your secrets.
Ooh,
That's a hard one.
that's a really hard one. I guess I'd go with the second one.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
matter how you slice it, you're in trouble.
Right.
But I think I'll go with the second one.
Okay. Here's the last one. Would you rather have a third ear or a third eye?
Ooh. I could do with a third eye because I had shingles in one of my eyes. So maybe a third eye would be helpful.
Let's start over. Get an extra eye. Oh my gosh. That's true. Those are funny. I know. Some of them you're like, neither. I don't
Yeah,
want
right. Can I
I
have a
don't
third
either.
choice?
I know. There's no choice there. Oh
Oh
my
my
goodness.
gosh.
Anyway, so if you want to get to know Jennifer better, we do have a brief description of who she is and how you can reach her in the description of this video. We didn't want to take up all the valuable time going over bios that people can't remember anyway. It's better for them to read them. But we do want to hear about is your oil journey. So can you remember, and it doesn't have to be associated with any particular company or just any particular age, but go back in your memory as far as you possibly can and tell me what your first memory of an essential oil was.
Well, it would have to be sitting in your kitchen with, it was a blend similar to On Guard, but not On Guard because we were with
Okay.
a different company at the time. And smelling that and thinking, okay, Carrie's getting herself into this and I'm going to support her, but I just don't know what it's all about. But it sounded good. Made sense. I mean, we were always into that natural stuff anyway. So I was ready to kind of jump in and see what happened.
Yeah. One of the memories I have that I love is, you and I were doing food co-ops together with our kids and these, play dates and play groups where we'd, make them lunch from scratch. And I hope mothers still do this. That was part of some of the best memories that I had. And of course, We even tried to buy natural meat. Remember that?
Oh my
That-
gosh.
yeah,
We bought, I actually did that recently, but yeah,
that's
we used to
good.
buy
Yeah.
like half a cow or something and split it
Right.
up. And but there was always a scheme involved, right? So like whether it was the produce or the cow, it was always like, okay, how many other people can we get in on this so we get it cheaper? And I can remember our husbands looking at each other in a kind of a panic whenever
Right.
we were together, because like, oh, what are they doing
They're
now?
scheming.
They're
Yeah, they're scheming
scheming.
about something. It was all illegal, by the way. Just anybody
Yeah, it
who's
was legal,
all
you know.
legal and on the up and up. But we were just trying to find like the best deal and the best quality, whatever it was for our kids.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
like, how do we get our kids involved?
yeah. But we
No
were just
doubt.
perpetually up to our eyeballs in, I don't know, um, collard greens and things like that. So
Right.
we were coming up with these ideas.
And we had to learn
As
how
we
to
drove
cook
to the
them.
Jersey Shore, we were like, what are we going to do with that extra share of
That's
vegetables?
right. I
Oh,
know. We had to learn how to cook things that I know I did anyway. I learned how to cook things that I had never even heard of. And I don't think there was
exactly.
Google back then, right? We were like
Oh, yeah.
going through old recipe books and just trying to, rack our brain to
I
figure out
remember
what.
showing my husband the celery root for the first time. He's like, that thing
Oh,
looks like
right.
a mistake. I was like, God doesn't make mistakes. We just have to figure out how to use it. It's going in the soup. Everything went in the soup.
Everything went in the soup. That's right. I know. You could write it. Jen does a great book review for kids, and I hope one day you will write a book about all the crazy things that go in the soup. Because
Remember the
that would be
figs?
fun.
You
That would
showed
be,
up at my house with all those figs
yeah.
from your neighbor, from your friend.
Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's make some
Oh,
fig
okay. We better stick to the oils. We could go on forever.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is,
we could go on about a lot of other things.
oh my
So
gosh.
true. So, all right, we're going to take kind of a time machine and move forward to when you first encountered doTERRA. Do you remember what your first wow product experience was, what that product was, maybe the situation around it?
Yeah, for sure. That was lavender. I bet that's true for a lot of people, but I had had a sinus infection for, I don't know, 6 weeks. I took the antibiotics, whatever, and I was still sick. And you said, Jennifer, you need lavender oil. And I said, okay. And not knowing anything about oils in those days, right, I just put it on neat, right on my sinuses. But within 20 minutes, my sinuses were draining. And 2 days later, I was better. And I said, but whatever she's doing, there's something to it. And I got to learn more. And
I love
then I would say the next like big thing that kind of got me really investing in the oils was when I tried diffusing for my son's croup because he had croup, as a little baby all the time. And I don't know how old were the kids when we started, like 3 or 4 years
3 or
old.
4 years old. Yeah.
And like, so this had gone on for years and there was nothing anybody could do for the croup. And then I just started diffusing. It was a blend similar to Breathe.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like 20 minutes after that, he was just his lungs cleared. And I said, all right, this is it. I'm in.
Yeah. No, that was neat.
Yeah.
Now, what about doTERRA drew you to doTERRA? Like, what was different about doTERRA from other companies that you used?
Well, it's so funny because it was actually an oil that wasn't using at the time. Nick Kilpack was at your house talking to somebody about doTERRA. And I had been kind of hemming and hawing, and you said, "Come on, just smell these oils." And I picked up, of all things, a bottle of fennel, which was an oil that I didn't like at the time. And I like fennel, and I cook with the vegetable, and I love licorice, but I did not like the smell of fennel. And it was must have been the one that was on the table. And I smelled it, and I said, "Oh, this is really nice. Maybe this is what fennel is supposed to smell like." It was so clean and sweet smelling. And I said, I think these oils are really better than the ones we're using. And now I actually do use fennel because it's just the other one was so pungent and kind of acrid smelling. And this was just so delightful. I said, there's something here. So,
Yeah,
and here we are.
people have asked me when they're comparing oils, they'll say, well, doTERRA oils smell like light. They describe them and words they use are like
Hmm.
clean, light, fresh. And I remember when we first started to look at doTERRA, I was skeptical too, just like, so if they're not as strong, smelling, does
Hmm.
that mean they're
Yeah.
going to work as well? And I guess what I didn't realize was sometimes that overpowering pungent smell may not actually be a good thing, that you want
Mm-mm.
your oils to be fresh and clean and desirable and just like you want your food, right? You wouldn't want to open up a bag of food, like potatoes or apples or celery root, right? And it's like this overpowering smell. That would not be appetizing. So
No, not at all. And I
yeah,
also find that I used less, that I could get the same effect with fewer drops. So that convinced me that the concentration wasn't any less just because the smell was not as overpowering.
right. Yeah, definitely, definitely. So from that point, I guess maybe I can even infer what's happened, but share with everybody like what made you want to share with other people, because you're busy. We were just talking before we started the show, like you're busy, you have a lot going on, there've been a lot of life
Mhm.
changes, you have a grown son, so you could be doing other things with your time.
Yeah, well, I think I certainly was buying a lot of oils and sharing them with my family. Um, just anytime they had something wrong, I'd say, well, did you try this? Did you try that? And so it just kind of slowly evolved. And I think also the friendship. I mean, you, Elena, Lorinda, Denise, I mean, we're all friends. And it just seemed like I wanted to be part of the team.
Yeah, and you were a huge part of the team, and I, I have learned so much. I mean, I'm going to start using fennel more, even just after this interview. I'm like, oh, fennel. But it doesn't matter how much you read. I think the experiences of the people that you work
Hmm.
with are the things that you gravitate to. Like, oh, Jennifer used that for her sinuses, or she used that on her husband's back, or she used this with her kids' croup. Right? Those are the stories that get people to try something. That's where the trust, I think, is really, really built. And so I remember you would have in your beautiful kitchen, sometimes you would have like all these little bottles of oils. And I'd say, what's going on here? And you're like, oh, people are coming to pick these up later this afternoon. Like you always had your little recommendations for everybody, and you're always out there helping people. It's
I
beautiful.
also find I learn a lot from the people that I've introduced to the oils because they experiment and they'll say, oh, well, for instance, we were talking before about, clementine oil. What do we do for allergies? And I started using clementine oil because my nephew was finding it helped his allergies more than anything else. And so I'm learning, he's a kid. So you just learn a lot just from talking to people.
I was going to ask you what made you start to use clementine for your allergies, but we
It was,
ran out of time. So I'm
my
glad you
sister
finished
said,
that story.
Rocco's putting it in a capsule and he's using it for his allergies. I said, okay, I'm going to try it.
Yeah, and you know what? Kids don't lie.
No,
Kids are so honest about everything, right? Like if you put something in front of a kid, they're either going to tell you it worked or it didn't, right? You put
yeah.
something in front of an adult, I don't know, maybe you don't trust them as easily. But when little kids are gravitate towards something, I go, what are they doing? What are they doing? What do they know that I don't
Mhm.
know? Which is my daughter loved wintergreen, which always blew my mind. I'm like, why is this kid going after wintergreen? And a lot of people will say wintergreen's dangerous for children. And I'm not advocating that you pour wintergreen on all your kids,
No.
but I'm just saying that I think sometimes kids are very unjaded. They don't have any, preconceived ideas. And so if something seems good to them, they have an honest way of assessing things, which is really, really nice. So what's your favorite thing to share? Like if you meet a new, I know you kind of, it sounds like you go to whatever they need, but do you have that oil that you're like, oh no, you got to try this? Anything right now that you're really passionate about?
I would say Aroma Touch. I
Okay.
think it's one of those unsung heroes in the doTERRA collection that that I'm always recommending to people. And it's my go-to for muscle pain of any kind, muscle spasm. I was just saying to someone just a few days ago who had a back problem and was using other oils. And she's into the oils. I said, but did you put Aroma Touch on it? And as soon as it went on, she said, oh, I feel better.
Oh,
And so I even use it for clenching at night, the muscles that get all tense in your jaw. I mean, I just think it's so warming and people forget about it. I think they forget that it's there.
I'm gonna put that by my bed now. It's so funny. These interviews have been so good for me. Like Nick Kilpack got me to take out my mouthwash and leave it by my toothbrush because it was under the cabinet, and sometimes I forgot about it. That was a simple tip. I'm gonna put my aroma touch now because I do. I wake up, a little bit with that clenched
Hmm.
jaw. pain. And it's like you once you get up and you start moving, the tension goes away. But who wants that?
Yeah. And this is why we've talked about this. I really want doTERRA to come up with an aroma touch. It might not fit on the label, but I
Oh.
made my own roller. I diluted it, but I think an aroma touch roller bottle would be amazing.
So would you want it in a roll-on or a stick, like the deep blue stick or the breathe stick? You like
A stick might be really good because it's a little less messy. They could also get some copaiba in there, and that would kind of accentuate it. I keep forgetting. I've got to contact customer support or
yeah.
they are and tell
That's
them
a great
my great
product.
idea.
It is a great product idea. I love that. I love that. Yeah. You can't make your own stick. At least I don't know how to, but I will.
No,
I'm gonna make a roll on. I think
make
that
a
would.
roller.
Yeah. What are your top five? Like, what do you, if you were gonna give, you only could have five products right now, what would they be?
Gosh, well, definitely the Serenity soft gels. I mean, those
Okay.
are a must at nighttime, and I find everybody who tries them really likes them a
And
lot.
they're working for everybody. I think the first version of Serenity didn't work on everybody. It was calming, but not maybe, that full go to sleep.
Yeah, no, definitely. I know a lot of people who depend on that, but it's not habit forming, which is great.
Right.
So, um, yeah, that one I definitely use a lot. Another product that I recommend all the time, and I people love, are the Breathe lozenges. Again, we were talking about allergies. There is not a time of year where I don't recommend those, whether it's cold season or allergies. At least in this part of the country, it's allergy season all the time, practically.
Yeah.
And I actually have a friend whose grandchildren call them the magic drops because they just get
Oh,
rid of all your congestion and they love them. So yeah, that's definitely a product I recommend. Wait, am I supposed to give you a few more
five.
or
So we're two,
five? Okay.
right? So,
So those two, the adaptive roller, actually adaptive in general, I diffuse that, take the caps, use the roller. I think it's an amazing product that has had a lot of success. And when I wear it, people just are like, "Oh, what is that? What
mm.
is that you're wearing?" So calming. Um, Let me think. Serenity. Another product that another unsung hero I think of the DoTerra collection is the Forgive roller.
Hmm.
And I know the studies that have been done on it are amazing, and it's obviously it's for that feeling of anger, resentment, um, and so it's really good for all your organs. But they've also shown that it's great for the immune system, which makes sense, right? Because if
Right.
you're angry or you're resentful or unhappy about something, it's going to affect you. But I just think it's another product that people see the name and they think, well, I don't have to forgive anybody, so I don't need that. Um,
Yeah.
but it's a great support for the immune system, and it's a kind of a nice calm smell too.
It really
Uh,
is.
and let me think, what was the other one? Oh, and you know what? One product, I don't know. Another one. I have all of the ones nobody seems to talk about much, but
Good.
the body butter. I have to say, every time I bring a gift to a young mom or a new mother, I bring that body butter because they spend their life washing their hands and their
That's
hands
true.
are super chapped. And when I give them that tub of body butter, they are just ecstatic. They open it, they use it right away. It's so nourishing for the skin and they need it. It's
Yeah.
just, oh, it's a really nice gift.
That is a great gift. And it smells good,
Yeah,
and
it does.
sometimes you get those medicinal, hand salves and they're like, oh, they smell like medicine. This
They
smells
do.
beautiful, right? This is like
Nice
a
and
little
fresh
spa
smelling.
moment. And yeah, everybody needs a spa moment, but new moms for sure,
Hmm.
need that break, definitely. All right, so let's flip the coin. Is there a product you just like? I don't like the smell. I stay away from it. I don't buy it when it comes on sale. I don't even want it for free. I don't want that. If it's product of the month and I get it for free, I don't want it. What's the one you really don't
Oh, well,
like?
I always get the product of the month for free because all the oils are great. You're going to use them eventually. But I mean, the one that I really don't like the smell, I have to say, is Arbor Vitae. That one, I really don't like that one. I mean, I use it, I have it, And if I run out, I make sure I have a bottle because if you're sick, you want to have it. But it goes on my feet and
Right.
nowhere else. Don't diffuse it. I think it's a great oil. It just really doesn't smell very good.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
interesting. I think you're the third person I've talked to put that up on the list. And it's the same thing. I use it, I buy it, I know it works, but I hate the smell. So I think our second runner up was Spikenard.
Oh, yeah. Spikenard is pretty strong.
You know,
And it's expensive too. So I can see why
it
people
is.
wouldn't
So
buy
maybe
it.
that one's easier to avoid. I don't know. Oh my gosh. So many other things that we could talk about. Do you have a favorite like supplement that you like?
Oh gosh, I use so many supplements, but the first one that comes to mind is always Terrazyme.
Okay.
It's been for a long time the thing that has helped me maintain weight and keep my digestive tract happy. So I do use that regularly.
Have you tried the new electrolytes yet? The recharge?
Ah, I tried the lime. What is it? The lime lemon.
Lemon lime, yeah. And
Well, I'm hoping they're going to work on the flavor a little bit.
so,
um,
it's interesting because they're these deep sea minerals. And so most mineral supplements have this, I always say that it's like a taste between bitter and stinky. I don't know. It's like, it's just,
yeah.
there are very few things that I can say, I can't stomach that. But ionized minerals from the ocean, I have a heart, like, I don't know, my stomach turns over when I take them. So the tip that I would have for that is more water. So they recommend 2 cups of water with one stick. And what I've been saying to people is like, if you need, it's for hydration, you
Hmm.
know, and for a lot of other things, but hydration is a big part of it. So if you need another glass of water in there, just get a bigger cup or, use it in thirds and just dilute it. It's not going to hurt the product, and it may make it easier to swallow.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good
And then
piece
we
of it.
have to have you try the strawberry if you haven't had that one, so you can vote. Strawberry. I'm trying to get a
It'll be
good
a this or that.
statistical understanding of like which one is the most popular flavor. But yeah, I'm excited that they added that because I think it's a missing. There's very few things missing from the DoTerra line, but that was missing. And I find that the over the counter electrolyte supplements aren't really good for people.
Mhm.
A lot of junk in them. So anyway. All right. Well, this has been fun. So we end the show with 10 questions. Just this is like a fun way to wrap things up. But before we do that, I wanted to say thank you. This has been fun. I hope you'll come back on the show and
Oh, yeah.
share some more essential stories. Was there anything else you wanted to share before we end the show?
No, I think that's good.
Okay, great. So, first question, not necessarily an oil. What's your favorite smell?
Oh, spaghetti gravy simmering on the stove.
What smell do you hate?
Oh, that chemical smell that you get from cleaners or um, scented candles. I don't like that.
What brings you the greatest sense of peace?
Prayer.
What irritates you the most?
When you call a company and you get into this loop of pushing numbers and you can't get a human being on the other end.
What's your favorite character trait in a human being?
Compassion.
What's your favorite guilty pleasure?
Oh, dark chocolate.
What's the last food you'd like to eat before you pass?
I think it would be a French baguette with butter and an authentic cup of espresso.
Love it. If you had a magic wand and you could eradicate any disease or illness, which would you eradicate first?
I think mental illness.
If I gave you $500, you have to use it all in one place. What are you going to do?
I think I'd just give it to my favorite charity.
What one word would you like to leave the audience with today?
Hope.
Thanks, Jennifer.